Thanks for staying tuned. If you're just joining in, it is the Morning Drive on Providence Television International, and this is the newspaper analysis segment. And with me in the studio, I have Dr. Emmanuel Igariba. You're welcome to the studio, sir.
Yes, thank you very much. It's nice to be back again.
Thank you. We'll be going down to the first newspaper. That's where we'll start our analysis from, where we have defying speculations. Wike says he will not leave the PDP. That is on the front page of the first newspaper. So this will clamor about Wike leaving the PDP or not. If I remember, in one of our discussions within the week, you talked about an all-encompassing government. You looked forward to it, a situation where somebody who is in the PDP and the APC, regardless of your party affiliation, you can be a part of the government. What is your take on Wike having to leave the PDP because the present APC government is under their employ?
Yeah, because there was no agreement have been issued as to this kind of configuration. I believe that if it was going to work out properly, there should have been an agreement between the PDP, a formal agreement between the PDP and the APC. That look, yes, we want to collaborate with your government. The government is at the center. We want to collaborate, and we are ready to assist you. We are ready to assist you with our members. Okay. But this time around, I think it's an isolated case, really, the Wike phenomenon, because he's still within PDP, so he says, and he's working for APC. He's the only person. But in the government of unity, you have many people who will come on board. This is an isolated case. I don't know of any person who is working for APC and still in PDP. They may do it subterraneously, but in the Wike issue, I think it's a kind of subtle rebellion against his own party. And elder statesman Edwin Clark has talked about this. But I have often asked myself, why is it difficult for PDP to discipline him if they feel so aggrieved? It's not anything difficult. But Wike has often said, discipline me and see the result. So it's a double-edged sword, all right? So I'm thinking that in a situation, in a scenario where you have a proper arrangement, there's nothing wrong really. I mean, if you have a government of national unity, you can call people from PDP and all of that. So that's a problem.
We're going to take just this, we're going to take a break now because there are other issues that are coming up presently. Don't go away, please stay tuned. Well, thank you so much for staying tuned. If you're just joining in, the program is the Morning Drive on Providence Television International. We needed to take that little break because some information just got to us that needs to be confirmed. Petrol scarcity worsens as marketers load at 780, but we'll come to that. We are still on the Wike issue. Sir, you were saying?
Yes, I dwelt enough on this. The solution to that is there must be a proper arrangement. If Wike truly is to serve at the national level, there must be a proper arrangement between the PDP and the APC. Okay? But from all indications, I think Wike is adamant. He wants to undo PDP.
Okay.
Yes, he certainly wants to do that. Otherwise, there won't be this cat and mouse situation. So I think that there must be a proper and formal arrangement. But there's nothing like that on the ground. So obviously, they are playing hide and seek. Okay?
Who now? The PDP governing body? Or?
Yeah, the PDP and Wike.
Okay.
Yeah, it's obvious. And they cannot discipline him. And the question people are asking is he above
the party?
Yes. Is he bigger than the party? Okay. Except they have something to hide. Otherwise, for a man who is doing all of these things, the party can discipline him. Okay? But the sum total is, if for instance tomorrow we have a government of national unity, the party at the center can say, yes, people should come on board.
Okay.
From all the parties, really.
Okay.
And I think that is what is even good for this country. So that we can reduce the level of acrimony that we have between the parties. If we have that, then truly we'll be talking about essential development for the country.
All right, we'll move down now to the Vanguard newspaper where we have a screaming header. That was what I actually had to confirm. Fuel scarcity worsens as marketers load at 780 naira per litre. Riders to that effect, transport fares rise by over 200%. Lingering fuel scarcity, sir. We've talked about this, we've talked about it. It seems to get worse by the day.
Yes, as long as you could see it there clearly that the lifting oil has become an issue, 780 per litre. Meaning that by the time you buy at the nozzle, it's probably about 1,000 or more, okay? So the problem is lingering. And I feel sorry for Nigerians. They are going to be at the receiving end. The people up there, the political elite, will not feel it, obviously. Even if you raise the pump price today to 2,000 naira, there are people who will continue to buy with ease, okay? But the majority, that's what we're talking about. The majority of Nigerians will continue to be at the receiving end. I mean, Nigerians who look for urgent daily survival. How can they cope? I mean, you just read from the Vanguard, one of the headlines, that the cost of transportation.
Risen, exactly, by 200%.
200%.
Yes.
And we know what that means. So it also means that prices of foodstuff will increase exponentially. All right, and it's not good for our development. It's not good for our political development. It's not even good. Worse still for economic development. Okay, so we are in for hard times. And the question is, when are we going to get out of the woods? This administration, very soon, they will be celebrating 2 years in office. And yet, Nigerians are groaning under the weight of all kinds of economic issues. And I believe that unless something is done urgently, we might have a situation of real uprising on our hands.
Nigeria groaning under the weight of the present day situations that the masses are facing takes us straight away to our interview segment, still with Dr. Emmanuel Egariba, where we'll be talking about vision without commitment. Sir, vision without commitment, is that the present thing happening in the Nigerian situation?
It's happening. It's also happening at the individual level. Thank God you mentioned that. If you have a vision can be given even divinely. For instance, you can have your own vision and you plan out a strategy for yourself, but in most cases, people can get messages from up above, okay? So, vision means that there is a target, you have a goal, and you must follow it through. But vision without commitment is a tragedy, and it's also lost opportunity. Vision without commitment is lost opportunity because you have been given. You have a mental picture of what it is. You have a mental picture of what you're supposed to do, of your goals, of your agenda. That's why people use this phrase, maybe carelessly. Oh, we're going to hit the ground running. That means there's a vision. But if you fail to hit the ground running, meaning that you have lost that opportunity. Okay? And it applies more even to government because leadership is all about vision, really. Particularly in government. Leadership is about vision. If you don't have vision, then you have no business with government. And vision means you are planning or you have planned to execute certain things. Agenda setting, for example. I mean, this is what I'm going to do. As a leader, you say this is what I'm going to do for the people in terms of road infrastructure. That's the vision. You already have it. But when there's no commitment to it, then there's a disconnect. And that's what brings leadership failure most times. Because when there's disconnect, it means that you have lied to the people.
And so,
Yes.
talking about lying to the people, we'll see the situation. There are individuals who are postulated, like something like the fuel subsidy issue, that everybody is saying that it is not going that well with Nigerians. Is it a loss of vision when a leader goes back to say, I made a mistake in this policy, in postulating this policy? Is it a loss of vision, kind of?
No, it's not. In fact, that's a different ball game you're even talking about. And that's a mark of good leadership. A leader must know when to go back to kickstart the vision that you're talking about. It has to do with pride, excessive pride, what we call hubris. It affects a lot of people in government. You have made a pronouncement, you cannot reach out to that. Then go back and re-strategize. That's what leadership is all about. I mean, there's no point of elaborating this because we've talked about it before. If there's an issue that you want to pursue, you set an agenda for yourself, and cannot meet it for one or two reasons, then all you need to do is to tell the people that, look, please, I'm sorry. I mean, what is wrong with leaders saying, I'm sorry to the people? That's a mark of leadership. I mean, because when you tell the people that you are sorry, that this thing has not worked out, but we are going back to the drawing board, I mean, they respect you the more, okay? But when you become adamant because of pride, excessive pride, what psychologists call hubris, then you begin to take the people for granted. That's what it is. But people love you more, and I can tell of instances. I mean, look at the debacle between President Clinton of the United States and Lewinsky. Yes, he told the American people, please, I'm sorry. And they respected him for that, okay? A third world leader will not say that. He will even gloat, I mean, that he has discussed on victory. But here was an American president. He came on national television to say, look, please, I'm sorry, I did something that was inappropriate. Right, that's the mark of leadership. And you apologize to the people. The people are bigger than your office. Okay? So when there's a mistake in policy, when there's a mistake in policy perspective, all you need to do is to tell the people, please, because of something exigencies, we run into a brick wall, but we must go back. You can imagine what the kind of applause that President Tinubu will have if today he announces that price of petrol has gone to 200 naira. Or they will praise him to high heavens, and he will re-strategize. Okay? He will be one of the best leaders of all time.
Okay, and
Yes.
so talking on visions, what are the kind of visions you have for a better Nigeria?
It can be pigeonholed into 4 different spheres. Vision for a better Nigeria.
Yes.
Good. One, those things that I talked about, I think about a week ago or so, must map out your strategy. What are the things that are really close to the hearts of Nigerians? You and I know them. The things that really bother Nigerians, that will give them a better life. The leaders know them. But it's the will to do these things that matters. For instance, we are talking about power. Electricity, and that's another aspect of vision really. You know that without electricity, there can be no meaningful development. So why don't you tackle it head on? You tackle it head on. And that's why I give some kudos to Obasanjo, because we're battling with NITEL and all sorts of structures. And the man said, look, we're going to put a stop to this. And we had GSM. Today, NITEL has ceased to exist. It's gone into oblivion. Yes, totally. Because with your handset, a little handset, you can be in your sitting room and be talking to your cousin in Canada or in New Zealand, for that matter. Obasanjo brought it. And today we're all enjoying it. Because he took the bull by the horn. That is vision matched with commitment.
Okay.
Good. But if there is no vision, for the Bible says, okay, we must quote the Bible, where there is no vision, the people are lost. Okay? Jesus Christ, the good Lord, had a lot of vision, and we must be an exemplar of the kind of thing we're talking about. So if you are a leader and you want to make Nigeria better, we must look at all these indices. I've mentioned one. Power. If Nigeria gets 247 of power today, it will rank among the best nations in the world. I can tell you that. For free. Because a lot of opportunities will spring up. A lot of businesses will spring up from all over the place. Okay? That's one. Number two, security. Once there's security and you can be sure that you can close your eyes and sleep comfortably, you will have a lot of our boys and girls who japa on a regular basis. They will come back home. What's keeping them back? And you have often, I have often asked myself, why are people running out of this country? Why are they fleeing the country in their droves? Because there's no power. Because there's no security. I like to that food security. Food is cheap. I mean, if you go to Europe, food is cheap, relatively cheap. Okay? That's three. Number four, housing, combined with transportation. All right? Transportation, you just mentioned it. I'm happy that a leading newspaper like the Vanguard has talked about it, that 200%.
Yes.
Yes. Somebody told me yesterday, if I one of our staff or here, he said he's looking for a place around here. So I've told him that he can come into the staff quarters. He's happy. The reason being that he said he spends on the average of 1,000 naira every day for transportation. So he came to meet me. I mean, I'm just giving an instance. And there are millions of instances like this. Why does he need to relocate? So that the burden of transportation can be off him. Then what of housing? I mentioned that there is no reason why any state government cannot build 100 units of one-bedroom flat in each of the 3 senatorial districts. There's no reason. At the cost of about 2 million. Just a one-bedroom flat. The military did it. I mean, in Edo State, for instance, you're talking about Andrew Wilson Housing Estate in Sapele Road. You're talking about the housing estate in Ikpoba Hill. What have the politicians done? Ask me, what have they done in terms of housing? The military did all of that. Housing, the one in Sapele Road, Andrew Wilson, they call it, it was even, I think it was owner-occupier. It was on owner-occupier basis. And you were given some space in case you want to develop. All right? Some have built it up, also 3 or 4 bedroom flat. The military built that. There are even 2 at Ikpoba here, one close to Benda Bure and the other at Auchi Road. The military, they built that. Housing, transportation, you must connect with the people on the basis of these 2 devices, these 2 indices. So I've answered your question directly, and I hope that leaders are listening. In the face of all of this, you must make yourself an exemplar. Don't live a lifestyle that is terribly out of this world. How can we have, look, take a senator for instance. He's going on a convoy with about 10 vehicles. For crying out loud, that doesn't make sense at all. Even for some governors, almost 20 vehicles. You see, you must connect with the people. When the people say this, even when they cannot, if they cannot mouth it and say it loud and clear, they are angry. Inside of them, they are angry. As a leader, you must be an exemplar. Okay? Why can a governor, if there is security in this country, a governor can drive himself. Yes, all over the place. And the people will applaud him. Can drive himself. What is wrong with that? He can drive himself around with his ADC sitting somewhere. He can drive himself around to have a bird's eye view, a clean view of what is going on.
Still on vision without commitment. You made mention. You made mention of a governor. Why can he not have 10? What about a sitting governor who has over 1,000 aides? It was announced in the station yesterday.
That borders on insanity. How can you have 1,000 aides? To do what? I mentioned a more ridiculous one some time ago. I think about 3 or 4 days ago. That look, in the National Assembly there was a particular senator or whoever. He had an aide, and the aide also had a special assistant. Okay? And we are paying. If you want aides, pay for them. Yes, pay for them. If you want private chauffeurs, or what we call drivers, pay for them. Pay your drivers from your coffers. You earn a lot. I'll give you I'll give you an example. This is very topical and it's very important. When I was the chief press secretary, somebody high up in government called me and said, look, Emmanuel, when are you moving into government apartment? I'm happy to say this. I'm very proud to say it because it's a very good example. Yes, and I was young. I was in my 30s when I was the chief press secretary. And I don't want to mention the name, high up in government. And he called me and said, look, Emmanuel, when are you going to move into government quarters? I said, sir, I don't need it. He said, why? I'm in my house. Small house that I built over time. I'm in my house. I'm enjoying it. I now said, rather than me going to government quarters, I said, we can even save some money for government. Because journalists will come, we want to put them in hotels and all sort of things, but we can put them there. We can go and eat outside. But we have saved some money. Yes, I said that, and the man was amazed. He said, guess what, Emmanuel? Do you know I'm doing the same thing? I live in my own house.
Okay.
Why can't people live in their houses? People who serve in government. Why must we have government quarters? Why? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. And then when they go, you replace all the furniture items, you do all sorts of things. There's no continuity. Okay, that's what is happening in the National Assembly. You remove all the furniture to God knows where. You budget billions again. You want to replace all those things. No. If you want a driver, employ him and pay for him. And pay him. That's what happens elsewhere around the world, okay?
And on this note, I would have said that there will be a continuation of this discussion, but no, because Dr. Gariba has a way of bringing up topics just ahead from his discussion. In our next discussion, not today, but please look forward to it. It will be commitment of public servants to as regards governance, the commitment of public servants. He will be definitely ready to tackle that. On this note, I'll say thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Igariba. Thank you, viewers out there. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, and share. And for those who do not know yet on how to get to Providence Television on YouTube, just simply go to your YouTube channel, go to YouTube rather, and type in Providence Television International. The international should be there because it should be worthy of note. If the international is not there, you might not be getting Providence Television International. So it is Providence Television International. Always stay tuned. We have quite a lot lined up for your viewing pleasure. And we will not forget also, because a program will be coming up later today. That's quite a promise as regards the funeral rites that are presently taking place for the late Archbishop Emeritus Ebusele Ekpu. Like I said, we have quite a lot lined up for your viewing pleasure. Don't go away. Stay tuned as our next program comes on board in just a few minutes. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day.